Okay, well, this is me trying things out. I'm not sure how strong my connection is, and I'm going to be reading from some bits of paper, but I'll do the very best I can anyway. I'm Mike Stygal, I'm president of the Pagan Federation. 45 years ago today, a gathering of pagans was held to discuss how best to support pagans and campaign for their rights to believe in the practices as they did without being faced with prejudice. On that Beltane back in 1971, the Pagan Federation was born. And this was partly prompted by the need to stop MP Gwilym Roberts from bringing in a private member's bill to outlaw witchcraft once again in 1970. Unfortunately, those pre-Pagan Federation efforts were successful. Our website will tell you that the PF seeks to support all pagans to ensure they have the same rights as the followers of other beliefs and religions. It aims to promote a positive profile for pagans and paganism, and to provide information on pagan beliefs to the media, official bodies, and the greater community. The Pagan Federation regards membership of any organisations that refuse to support freedom of religion and equality of race, gender, and sexual orientation as incompatible with our aims, objectives, and values. In addition to that 1970 success, the Pagan Federation has achieved the following in the intervening 45 years. In 1984, the Pagan Federation was instrumental in persuading English Heritage to take seriously the significance of Stonehenge for Druid and other pagan groups. In 1986, the Pagan Federation successfully campaigned, together with the British Naturist Association, against the anti-nudity provisions of the Public Order Act, which would have made nakedness illegal anywhere a passerby, however unlikely, might have seen it. In 1988, the Pagan Federation helped secure religious exemption from the anti-knife legislation brought in that year, and since then pagans have had the right to carry knives securely to and from rituals. Between 1988 and 91, the Pagan Federation was key in turning the tide against the satanic ritual abuse myth. We waged a long campaign together with other organisations against the myth and advised council in several cases. Finally exposes the SRAM as a typical example of unfounded moral panic. In 1990, the Pagan Federation was asked by the Home Office to select pagan prison ministers, which it has continued to do ever since. In 2004, the Pagan Federation Scotland gained the right to conduct legally binding weddings under Scottish law. In 2006, courts in England and Wales accepted the use of the pagan oath, which is, "I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, by all that I hold sacred," when giving evidence in court. In 2008, the Pagan Federation, representing pagans, accepted the offer of membership of the National Council for Faiths and Beliefs in Further Education. In 2011, the Pagan Federation gained representation for pagans on the Religious Education Council of England and Wales, and continues to work for consideration of the inclusion of paganism within an educational setting. In 2013, the Pagan Federation Scotland gained membership of Interfaith Scotland. In 2014, the PF developed an independent multi-faith body, Janus Community Chaplaincy, to help organise rehabilitation of ex-offenders in response to the government decision to outsource what was formerly the probation service work to faith and community groups. In 2014 again, we began developing closer working links with other pagan and heathen organisations through the Pagan and Heathen Symposium, with a view to supporting and championing the excellent work and services provided by others within the wider pagan community. And again in 2014, we became members of the Interfaith Network UK in order to advance the inclusion of pagans in interfaith dialogue, thereby improving understanding of paganism and pagan paths within other faith communities. From 1971 and ongoing, we've provided advocacy and support to countless pagans who have been subject to discrimination because of their stated beliefs. Again, 1971 till ongoing, we've provided prudent responses to the media concerning pagans and their beliefs and practices. And again, 1971 ongoing, we've been engaging in dialogue and collaboration with official bodies to ensure that pagans receive equal consideration to those of other faiths, and that official bodies are better informed about pagans and their beliefs and practices. So we're actually very, very keen to work towards other ways to support pagans in our society, hence the efforts to serve pagans with disabilities, and also pagans in hospitals and prisons, LGBT pagans, and many other groups within our community. So this week, our wonderful disabilities team have taken on the enormous challenge of presenting an online equivalent of a pagan festival event. We're in awe of the efforts of our disability team, particularly Debbie Gregory, our National Disabilities Manager, and delighted by the support offered by pagans who have volunteered to get involved in what promises to be an amazing week. So please let everyone know during this week if you've enjoyed something, and if you found something amazing, or seen anything that you think that we could improve, please let us know. Because even with excellence, there are always things that could be done to improve, and we hope to see more online festivals in the future. Now, I'll be on again at 6 on Wednesday for a question and answer session, so get thinking of some questions you might like to ask, okay, and you can catch me at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. Brilliant. Enjoy the week.